Hello, this is Reiki Master Angelia. And today we are doing Works of Hearts Reiki 2 and Natural Complementary Healing program. And this is part 2. Last time we left off on the parathyroid glands. And we're going to start with the thymus. The thymus produces hormones that stimulate production of the lymphocytes, which function in the body's defense against infection. The thymus secretes a substance that has been given the name thymosin or thymic hormone. The thymosin promotes the growth of peripheral lymphoid tissue. The thymus is most active during prenatal life and in infancy, because that's when you're growing the most. Excuse me. The adrenal glands. The adrenals or suprarenals are two small glands, each one situated above a kidney. The adrenal gland has two parts, the inner area called the medulla and the outer portion called the cortex. The principal hormones produced by the medulla are epinephrine, also called adrenaline, which I actually have an overactive adrenal gland, and norepinephrine, which is closely related chemically but not identical. These are referred to as the fight or flight hormones because of their effects during emergency situations, which they make a rise in blood pressure, elevation of sugar levels in the blood, which allows the voluntary muscles to do an extraordinary amount of work, increase in the heartbeat rate, and a dilation of the bronchioles. That gets you ready to run or fight whichever, is going to happen. The production of hormones from the adrenal cortex is stimulated by ACTH from the pituitary. These hormones are essential to life because they enable the body to adapt itself to constant changes in the environment. Aldosterone is an electrolyte regulator which controls excretion and reabsorption of sodium and potassium. Cortisol maintains the carbohydrate reserve of the body by changing amino acids to sugar instead of protein when the needs of the body call for such an action. Adrenosterone governs secondary sexual characteristics, particularly in the male, such as muscular vigor. I'm not going to spell it out for you. You can figure that out. The pancreas. Scattered throughout the pancreas are small groups of specialized cells known as the islands of Langerhans. And your pancreas is right, there near your liver. These islands manufacture a hormone known as insulin. Insulin is necessary for the normal use of sugar in the body tissues. If for some reason the pancreatic islets fail to produce enough insulin, sugar is not burned in the tissues for transformation into energy, and this is called diabetes. Instead, the sugar is simply excreted along with the urine. This condition is called diabetes mellitus. Mild cases of diabetes can be controlled by diet or by several drugs that can be taken by mouth. In severe cases, the patient must also receive insulin by injection. They are forms of insulin that act by stimulating the pancreas to produce more insulin. I lost my place. As it is destroyed by the action of digestive juices. Diet, exercise, and other activities help maintain the proper balance between the intake of insulin and sugar needs. Ovaries and testes, the sex glands. The ovaries produce the hormones that control female secondary sexual characteristics, as well as stimulating the development of the mammary glands, the onset of menstruation, and the development and functioning of the female reproductive organs. The hormones are estrone, estrogen, and progesterone. The hormone produced by the testes, the male sex glands, y'all probably already know this, is testosterone, and is responsible for such secondary sexual characteristics as deep voice and growth of facial hair, and also for the primary functioning of certain of the reproductive organs themselves. The endocrine system information was obtained in its entirety from the Reiki 2 Manual of Moonwind, Church of Zadi, number 467 of Westland, Michigan. The writings of the physical aspect of Reiki are most comprehensive, and we gratefully acknowledge their research efforts. Healthy eating. Many people in today's hectic world are suffering from dietary imbalances. The fast food, sugary drinks, sweets, white bread, French fries, milk products, red meat, and canned food being consumed simply do not give us the balanced supply of nutrients our body needs to stay healthy. When imbalance occurs, the first signs we often encounter are low energy, poor digestion, aches and pains, excess weight, and foggy thinking. If ignored, however, these can soon turn into more serious health problems. Researchers have found that eating healthy food and getting the best nutrients help to avoid many problems in the first place. Even serious health challenges such as diabetes, cancer, and heart disease can, in certain cases, be directly linked to diet. A good diet, along with moderate exercise, is therefore not only the way to keeping an ideal body weight, but also to overall health and well-being. Reiki develops our intuition and helps us to become more in touch with what our body really needs and doesn't need. In dietary terms, in order to stay or become healthy. It is also a means for us to send positive energy to the food we eat, making it even more nutritious for the soul as well as for the body. We need to take responsibility for our own health and make the necessary dietary changes if we want to stay fit and healthy. Fasting with Reiki. Fasting is an ancient method of physical detoxification that allows the physical body to feel freer and lighter. When done in combination with meditation, it also enhances purification on a spiritual level. Fasting usually involves a limited intake of certain foods over a period of several days. I mean, back to the, Reiki thing. If you're, putting universal energy into your food, or if you're praying, Lord, bless this food and let it be safe and healthy for my body, that is charging your food with, the right nutritional thing. And that's what that was talking about earlier. Fasting can help to treat various disorders, but should always be done under the guidance of a nutritional expert. Seek the advice of your doctor if you have any serious medical conditions. Reiki is an effective support for fasting as it mitigates unpleasant side effects by speeding up the elimination of toxins that has been set in motion. Since the Reiki energy fortifies the immune system, which is not being fed as much as usual, it is a good idea to give yourself a full body treatment every day during a fasting period. Energizing your food. You can enrich, cleanse, and energize the food you eat quite simply by holding your hands over or around the items to be eaten between 30 and 60 seconds and sending out positive energy. Reiki, or, like I said, praying that the Lord bless your food and let it be safe and healthy for your body. Second degree practitioners, which is what this class is about, can take this process a step further by drawing the first Reiki symbol, or the one I use, taught in the second degree, above the food. The Reiki power thus released helps to increase the nutritional value of your food by charging it with positive energy and intention. Because remember, food is fuel. We do eat a lot of comfort food. We like that comfort that good food taste gives us, because it makes us think of home, mom or grandma or whoever. that made you feel good by giving you this food. So we have to remember that food is fuel. It's to fuel our body. Our body can't run on all fat, can't run on all sugar. Otherwise, you end up with, heart disease, diabetes. We need healthy foods. And I'm kind of, since I found out I'm in a bad way right now, I've turned to nutritarianism, where, salad is your main dish, where like for breakfast you would have 2 fruits, with like your, bread or dairy, and then lunch and so 2 vegetables with your meat, 2 vegetables with your, meat, dairy, bread, the emphasis on the fruits and the vegetables, and then the bread, dairy, and meats are secondary to these things. Your main dish should be the fruit or the vegetables, and that way you get more in your meal too, like breakfast, I'm doing breakfast and dessert, fruits, 2 of them, lunch and dinner, 2 vegetables. And then that way, that's the emphasis of your diet, is the fruits and the vegetables that nature gave us to eat to keep ourselves healthy. We're the ones who invented, bread, and a lot of nutritionists and dietitians say bread is the worst thing to happen to man. Heart protection exercise. Self-treatment. Chinese medicine is based on a system of what are called meridians. And I'm actually going to put the introduction to traditional Chinese medicine class on here, so you'll be able to learn about that later on. These are energy lines that provide the organs, and indeed the whole body, with vital energy. Chinese healing arts, such as acupuncture and acupressure, involve stimulating various points along these meridians in order to activate the energy of certain parts and organs of the body systems. For example, if you have problems with your heart, whether physical, emotional, or both, you can use the pressure points called Shenmin and Xiaochong on the heart meridian to release any tension in that area. The acupuncture point Shenmin, number 1, raise your left hand in front of you, palm facing inwards towards you, and place the thumb of your right hand on the little finger side of your left wrist, just below the base of the palm, where there's a small, and it's right here, there's a small indentation. Then apply a little pressure to this spot. There you go. And you can do this for 30 seconds or however long you feel you need to do this. You'll start to feel the tingle in your hand and your fingers because you're applying some pressure there. Stretch your left hand toward your body and back to the neutral position, keeping the right thumb in place. So you want to do this and then do this, and you can feel in there that stuff's happening. Do this movement between 10 and 15 times. You might feel a little tingling. This is a healthy sign indicating that the blocked energy is shifting. And it's letting your nerves, clean out that area. So you can do that. Let's do it like 7 times here. But you can do it, 15 times. Then repeat the whole process on the other hand. So, you take your right hand facing you. You take your left thumb, put that there in that indentation right there, right there, below the pinky. And you would do that again on this side. Yeah, and hold that. Treating these points relaxes the heart meridian and shifts block energy along it. So that's the heartbeat can become regular again. And that's especially good, with people who might have an arrhythmia. Actually, my dad has AFib. That might be a good thing, for him to do. The acupuncture point, Xiaochong, hold the little finger of your left hand palm facing down. So, little finger of your left hand, palm facing down. With the index finger and thumb of your right hand, and turn and press it for a while as strongly as you can. So you want to do that. Okay? And turn and press it for a while. Pressure point here on the bottom outside corner of the little fingernail, which is right there, is the end point of the whole heart meridian, which begins at the armpit and it runs down your arm to there. And like I said, people, all this stuff. No, there's science behind this because this is your nervous system. There's science behind this. You have nerves that run through there. Stimulating it nourishes and balances the energy of your heart. So if you feel considerable discomfort or even a little pain while pressing, it is an indication that there is a blockage in the energy. So number 2, now apply pressure to the same points on all your other fingertips in order to stimulate and balance your whole body's energy. So you're going to do this to every finger. And then switch over. And on every finger. And you might want to do it longer. It depends on what feels right to you. The tip of your middle finger is connected to your pericardium. And if you think about, back in the past, like the Egyptians believed that finger connected directly to your heart. So, and also I believe ancient Jews had, a belief about that. So, there's science behind a lot of old things you hear. There's science behind it. People didn't understand the science then. It just was, became myth to modern science until modern science catches up and realizes, well, there is something to this. And, this is what it is. There's always a lag there between, conventional wisdom and science, catching up and putting the two together. The tissue surrounding your heart. So applying pressure to this point supports your heart's function. Number 3, then repeat the whole process to the fingers on the right hand. If you turn and press your fingers in this way every day, you will notice after a while that it no longer feels uncomfortable, indicating that the energy is now flowing more smoothly through the meridians. If you don't have time to treat all the fingers, just treat the little and middle fingers, because those are the 2 most important ones as far as the heart meridian. Suggestion: if ever your doctor needs to take a sample of your blood, it is worth asking for it not to be taken from the middle finger, which is where, they like to stick you. According to Chinese medicine, this can weaken your heart. Supporting the energy of the heart. Today, many people find themselves living in a way of life that means they are excessively busy all of the time and constantly under pressure, at work and at home. As a consequence of this, they feel restless and impatient with themselves as well as those around them. This set of circumstances often burdens our entire physical health, but especially the heart. Contrary to the popularly held belief, it is the heart and not the head that is our primary source of wisdom. And understanding the heart contains a vast space which we can find spontaneous peace, love, and joy at any time without any particular reason. When the heart can relax and beat in its own rhythm, it is the healthiest and most content. The more you know yourself and are in touch with your heart, the more you are able to look at the events in your life in a calm and peaceful way. And when you see all the challenges and experiences of life as a gift, you will find the inner strength and courage to act from a peaceful and accepting space in any situation. which will greatly enrich your whole life. Relaxing the heart through sighing. Self-treatment. This very simple but effective exercise helps you to release any blockages and tensions from the heart. It is particularly useful when you find yourself worrying or feeling stuck with a certain emotion that you cannot seem to let go. And I know we all have those. This is because the act of sighing is a wonderfully easy way to take the pressure off your heart and to release worries, fears, or anything else you're hanging on to. The negative energy frees itself as you breathe out. So number 1, take a deep breath in and allow your jaw to relax as you breathe out through an open mouth. Making a deep sighing sound. Repeat this a few times, relaxing completely with each out breath. So let's just do that, about 7 times. Now see, don't you feel better? While sighing, place your hands over your eyes to help you reconnect with yourself. And you can do this while you're laying down. Do it like that. So that you're blocking out light and being to yourself. Everyone needs time with yourself. Number 3, additionally, visualize any event, thought, or feeling from the past that you are still hanging on to and that is preoccupying your mind. And invite it to leave you with the out breath. So whatever the problem is, and then you breathe out, just imagine it leaving you. Imagine it going away, and you're done with it. Just breathe it out on a mental level. Number 4, now place both hands on your chest, like this. Pay close attention to your heart and notice if you feel any different, any lighter or freer, for example. Neck and shoulder pain, Reiki and massage. And I do have neck and shoulder pain that I work on every day. Tension in the neck and shoulder muscles is often caused by stress, poor posture, especially if you have to sit at a desk or computer all day, lack of exercise or imbalance in the liver and gallbladder. A feeling of being overloaded with responsibility can also cause pain in these areas. Well, my problem is I have osteosclerosis. I have bone spurs in my neck. I have dislocation and arthritis in my shoulders. So, mine is not these other things. Mine is structural. This combination of massage and Reiki will loosen any tension in the neck, head and shoulders, and harmonize energies in the body. Total treatment time is approximately 15 to 20 minutes. The receiver can stand or sit in any position that feels comfortable as long as the giver can easily reach their neck and shoulders. Number 1, place one hand over the forehead and the other over the medulla oblongata. So you would have one hand here and one hand back here, where the head and neck join. Stay in this position for about 3 minutes to help relieve feelings of exhaustion and stress. Well, we're going to do that for like 30 seconds, but you can pause it and do it for 3 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Number 2. Now start massaging the sides of the throat and the nape of the neck for a few minutes. Not like the throat itself, like here. And this is, you're doing this to another person. You can also do this to yourself. So you do this, and you work your way back until you've got to the nape of the neck, and that feels pretty good. Keep your touch gentle, of course, making circular motions with your fingertips, like you just saw me do. Continue this over the medulla oblongata on the back of the head, encouraging the receiver to sigh while exhaling to release any tension held in the body. So while you're doing that, if you're working on another person, you have them breathe in and then sigh. And you can do that. Also sigh when you breathe out. Then massage the upper shoulders. So you're going to want to do, the upper shoulder area. Checking with the receiver how much pressure they like. Because some people like a lot of pressure. I don't like a lot of pressure because, like I said, I have structural issues. So just a gentle pressure is what I like. Number 3. Place the base of your palms on the left and right side of the upper spine with your hands following the natural curve of the shoulders. Allow the Reiki energy to flow here for a few minutes. And so you're going to want to put your hands, on the shoulder, kind of, with them over like that, and your thumbs kind of toward the person's spine. And you're going to send Reiki, down through the shoulders. Now massage around the shoulder blades with circular motions of your middle and index fingers. So you want to do this around the shoulder blades. Most of us hold a lot of tension in the area behind the shoulder blades. I know I do. It's the thing I like to have rubbed the most. Number 5. To finish, lay one hand on the upper back between the shoulder blades and the other on the center of the chest for a few minutes. So you would have one hand in the middle of the back and the other hand on the chest. Excuse me. This Reiki position strengthens the immune system. And like I said, if you're working on yourself, you can put a hand on your heart, and if you can bend like that, I personally cannot do that. You can put a hand on your back. I just do 2 for me and send it through from front to back. Case study. Anna, age 74 years, sought Reiki treatment as she had suffered from tinnitus for 14 years. After receiving a series of 4 sessions, she already felt that the noise was slowly lessening, and that's the ringing in your ears. A further 4 treatments, the noise disappeared totally during the daytime and sometimes during the night as well. She decided to learn Reiki herself and now gives herself at least 1 full treatment each day. Within 8 weeks of these self-treatments, the tinnitus disappeared completely. And, I know there's a lot of people say, oh, it works if you believe it does. Well, of course it does. But there's also, science behind this. Like I said, you're sending, energy from your own nerves or, through the Holy Spirit or the universal energy into another person or into yourself where there are nerves. And so this is healing. Pain in the shoulders and arms. As well as relieving pain in the shoulders and arms, this treatment can help with general bone complaints and boost circulation. I have bone complaints. I have osteosclerosis, so, my bones do not like the hot. They do not like the cold. They really don't like to move. They don't like to sit. It's not good. It is best to stay in each hand position for about 5 minutes. We're, of course, not going to do that here, but you can pause and do it for 5 minutes. Which means the total treatment time is between 20 and 30 minutes. Number 1. Ask the receiver to lie down on their stomach, turning the head to one side. So the person will be laying on their stomach, with their head, on whatever pillow or whatever they're laying on, which side, ever. Number 2, place your hands next to each other on the receiver's right upper shoulder. So that would be, the right upper shoulder and it would be, you would put them on their shoulder like this. The base of your palms touching the spine and your fingertips touching the shoulder muscle. So, well, let me just see that. So that it was like this on their shoulder. Number 3, place your palms next to each other on the left shoulder in the same way. So then you would move over to the left side and have them, from the spine to the shoulder like that. This time, keeping the base of your palms on the shoulder muscle and the fingertips pointing towards the spine. And so you went this way. Now you're going to turn, and from the left, go the palms there in. And then again on the right, palms on the shoulder and fingertips in. You're going to switch. Number 4, ask the receiver to turn and lie on their back. Place your hands on the top curve of each shoulder. So it would be, on the curve of the shoulder. Fingertips pointing downwards so that they are touching the receiver's upper arms. So you're going to be at the head of them. And you would have, your hand here. And so your fingertips are touching, the arms. Kind of hard to show you how to do it on someone else without someone else. Suggestions. When there is pain in the lower arm, keep one hand on the shoulder area and place the other at the elbow. So you would have one hand here and one at the elbow. When there is pain in the hands, keep one hand on the shoulder area and place the other at the wrist. So you would be standing there and you would have a hand on the shoulder and the hand on the wrist. And you send Reiki through all these areas. And that was our class bell. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this Reiki training program. I hope you found it educational or inspirational or just entertaining. And I will leave the link in the description. So if you would like to help support this educational outreach, you could do that. So that's it for now. Until next time.